Hello and welcome to Capacity TV. My name is Saf Malik, Senior Reporter at Capacity Media. We're here at MWC 2025 and I'm delighted to be joined by Rafael Gonzalez, SVP EMEA at MedUX. Rafael, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Saf. Thank you very much for having us.
There was a recent report by MedUX. Talk to us a little bit about that. What did you find?
Yeah, it's a very unique research study that we recently released ahead of Mobile World Congress, and we've been assessing network performance and also 5G experience of almost 40 operators all over Europe, while driving more than 5,000 kilometers in 15 cities, in major European cities, in 11 countries, and covering more than 60 million inhabitants. Yeah, basically what we did is give back to the industry as part of our corporate social responsibility program and do some kind of open data approach to our traditional network testing and monitoring projects. And we have offered all those insights and all those results to the public and private stakeholders for further discussion about the 5G strategy and how to move forward to make sure that we achieve the universal 5G coverage objectives.
Your report highlights that on average, users in European cities remain connected to 4G for 25% of the time. What are the key barriers for universal 5G connectivity?
Yeah, if you allow me to make a step back and introduce a little bit the concept, because that's a very important question that you are doing. So actually there are several misconceptions in the industry when it comes to 5G connectivity. First, that having a signal or in the vicinity some base stations that provide 5G does not necessarily mean that you are truly connected to that base station. And secondly, even if you are an end user and you are seeing the 5G symbol in your smartphone, up to 20% of the times that's not true. So it is about true 5G connectivity. That's the very first step. So when it comes to this 25% of 4G connectivity that we see in our on-the-field data, the main barriers, I would rather say, it has two main dimensions. So one is the business side. So it's about where the operators are willing to invest, because there is a return on investment. There is a business case for them. Usually in urban areas should be universal 5G coverage, not only because of the business case, but also because of the digital decade strategy objectives, universal 5G coverage by 2025, okay? So having said that, on the other side, when it comes to the other important angle, regulatory and public policy matters that might impact those coverage objectives. So we have particular challenges that might have an impact on this. First, spectrum availability. So when the spectrum auctions took place, so investment efforts from the operators, but also the easiness to deploy passive infrastructure. So availability of rooftops, for example, but also the easiness to get those assets deployed in reality. So permits to get actually there. Those are the most relevant topics, I would rather say.
And the report calls for a holistic approach to 5G.
Yeah.
What does that mean and how can operators achieve that?
Yeah, when we speak about 5G connectivity, what we like to say is that 5G coverage alone or 5G speed alone are not enough. So the fastest network or the widest coverage is not enough. Why? Because we need to focus on the end user experience, actually. So when we speak about the holistic approach, is that we need to understand what are the real pain points of the end users. So when using in their daily lives, web browsing services, when gaming, when using social media, when using cloud storage, streaming in the daily lives. So we need to have an eye and visibility beyond coverage and beyond speed, which are the traditional metrics that we've been used to in the industry.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned it a little bit earlier, the European Digital Decade targets. It's aiming for universal 5G coverage in 2025. Do you think operators are on track to meet this goal?
Well, it depends how you look at it. It is all about what you define as 5G, first thing. Second, how you do measure coverage, how you do measure that there is 5G available or not. So we do not like usually to just stay at the very basic level when there is signal strength available or when there is infrastructure available in the vicinity. We like to talk about 5G availability, which is a proxy or even a better approach to measure 5G coverage. So when the user really is truly connecting to the base stations and really enjoying the full potential of 5G capabilities.
Rafa, amazing insights as always. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks to you, Saf. It's a pleasure to be here today.
And thank you for watching Capacity TV.